You are listening to ChartingWealth.com for Thursday, the 23rd of March, 2017. We're going to jump right into this market. Everything up today. That is the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, the 20-year bond, and gold. Let's jump right into the two-day SPY. We see it up. It's been down over the last few days. Being up over the course of the day caused us to have a long bottom wick. We're still in a confirmed down move on the two-day chart. However, of course, the weekly chart is still in its confirmed up move from all the way back on November the 25th. Remember Thanksgiving? Well, that's when the S&P 500 started moving up. After the presidential elections, we had that lock in on the weekly chart with the week ending the 25th of November. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. Is there going to be enough down movement throughout the course of the week to actually drag the weekly chart over? Hasn't happened yet. If it does happen, those of you who are on our list to receive our text message of a weekly vertical crossover will receive it. If you want to receive it, you need to text to the number 33222 on your cell phone the word Charting Wealth. That's our name, of course, chartingwealth.com. So let's continue to look through these charts. We see that we are moving still in a confirmed down on the two-day chart, so we do not have the potential for a trade at this point on the S&P 500. What do we see going on the Qs, which is, of course, the Nasdaq 100? We see that it, of course, has penetrated over the last two-day candle. We've seen that it's penetrated the weekly trend that's still in a confirmed up move. It hasn't crossed over yet on the weekly either. Getting close, not as close as the S&P 500, a confirmed down move on the two-day chart. That, of course, was confirmed on the two-day chart ending on the 14th of March. We now have flipped over. Finally, the derivative oscillator flipped over, but we don't have any confirmation for a trade on this chart either until that weekly chart's moving in the same direction as the two-day chart. So we'll continue to monitor that. And again, those of you on our text messaging list will be the first to know if we do have a confirmed down move on the weekly. Let's continue to pour through these charts. Next, we go to TLT, which is the 20-year bond fund. Now remember, the weekly vertical crossover occurred going up on the bonds after they bottomed out and started moving up back around the 2nd of February, I guess the 3rd of February, the week ending then. Went up for a few days, then sideways for a while, up a little, then dropped way off, and has now finally moved back over going up. Actually, this two-day candle has now closed out, so we do have a confirmed up move. So we have the weekly vertical crossover and the two-day vertical crossover moving in the same direction. That's good news. If we dig in a little bit and take a look at the 2-hour chart, we see that it appears to be topping off. Now, can it continue to go higher? It can. What is our standard training? It is to wait for a rollback that is a crossover going down so that we're able to then wait for it to move back over going up. That would be our entry point to further up movement. Those of you who want to experiment, check out the 2-hour chart tomorrow after Idiot Hour is over. That's after 10:30. Somebody asked me today in one of your emails from one of our followers was, what do you mean by Idiot Hour? Let me explain that, and I've done a video on it in the past. I've talked about it. Idiot Hour is that first hour the market is open. All the idiots, all the people who are, ignorant, I guess would be a better term. They don't know better. They put in market orders. They see that, oh, my position's down, I'll sell it in the morning. Market makers are given a great deal of authority by the markets to actually deal with prices and buy and sell the stocks, the ETFs that they control as the market maker. And they're given a lot of authority as to what they clear when. That is why the beginning of the day seems so haphazard. It may be up, it may be down, and then by 10:30, 11, the market seems to have settled out. That's why we never trade first thing in the morning for what we're doing and the technique that we're talking about that we teach at Charting Wealth. We wait for the market to settle out, and then at 10:30, when all that's settled out, that's when we look to see what's really happening in the market. By then, a lot of the early morning hoopla is over. So we stay out of the market that first hour. So after that first hour is over at 10:30, you might look and see what things look like on the 2-hour chart. Maybe you can find a jumping in point because we do have both of our weekly and our 2-day charts moving up on TLT, the 20-year bond fund. And again, we're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm, and we're supposed to be experimenting and training and seeing how things work. So give it a shot. Maybe you can find a good entry point and you can practice trade on that. Because the more you practice trade on these different indexes, on the Qs, on the S&P 500, on TLT, the 20-year bond fund, and on gold, the better you'll get at them and understanding them in various seasons. So give it a shot potentially. Just take a look and see if it looks like a decent entry point. Back to the 2-day chart to look at our last chart for the day, always gold. It was up also for the day, up 0.24%, and we see that we now have 3 up candles on the 2-day chart on gold. We don't yet have a crossover. We're getting close. Maybe we can move at the close of the next 2-day candle, which is not going to happen, of course, until Monday, because we will have the Thursday candle and we'll have the Friday candle. Well, it'll happen to close a business on Friday, I'm sorry. So we've still got 2 more days of movement. We'll see if indeed there is a 2-day crossover, and maybe the following week we might pick up a trade in gold, not at this point. Till it happens, it's not confirmed. So that's where we are at the end of the day on Wednesday as we go into Thursday, the 23rd of March. We appreciate you being with us. If you're not already on our email list, you need to get on it. What do you get with that? Well, you go to chartingwealth.com. You sign up. We will send you every day the podcasts that we record. We'll also send you all the trainings that we do in podcast form. And we will send you our layout that we use at freestockcharts.com. We'll also send you the daily market worksheet that we use, the weekly market worksheet that we use, and we will send you our How to Read a Stock Chart video, a link to that. Now, the weekly and the daily market worksheets, we encourage you to fill out the daily every day. You fill out the weekly over the weekend before the market opens on Monday. All you do is listen to the podcast and fill the material out as we go through the podcast. It takes less than 10 minutes to do a day, and it's what you need to do to start figuring out how the market works. I don't know any other system that makes it more simple, more direct, more usable, and that's what you tell us in all the feedback we get. We're all about keeping it simple and straightforward, keeping it simple and successful. That's what we try to do here. We've honed down all of the knowledge we've learned in all the years we've been trading, buying, investing in the market, trying to make this as easy and as simple as possible. Way too many people out there making things so complicated that I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. So thank you so much for being with us again, chartingwealth.com. If you appreciate what we do, you can sure say nice things about us on Facebook at our Facebook page. You can also go to YouTube, and we really appreciate everybody subscribing there. That helps us a lot in the metrics. Go to our YouTube channel, Charting Wealth, subscribe to the podcast. We also load them up there every day. And iTunes, if you'll go to iTunes, you guys have made us as high as number 6 in the world as far as stock trading podcasts. No, I'm sorry, number 9, as high as number 6 in the world in stock market podcasts. So we very much appreciate all of that support. Give us a 5-star rating. Say something nice about us. God bless you guys. Write us at cw@chartingwealth.com. You can also access that email address at our website, chartingwealth.com. Happy to hear from you. Try to answer your questions, give you what you need. We're all about education and empowering you. God bless. Take care from chartingwealth.com.